What's going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another episode of Versus. This is your boy maxdiggy. For those of you who don't really know the rules of Versus, this is a head-to-head battle between two dope MCs in a game. We go through a whole bunch of different categories to try and figure out mathematically why, personally, I feel one cat is better than the other. And then we also get to get your opinion in the comments below. Before we get started with this week, as I said, I've been watching and seeing how people commented on the last video to try and come up with the community winner as to who was the winner of the Jay-Z versus Nas beef. And even though in my review, Jay-Z slightly edged out Nas in a full category, you guys seem to think otherwise, and Nas ended up taking the community vote. Good job. Keep voting. You never know, man. My opinion is one thing, but your opinion could be totally different. Let's check out the rules. For those of you who don't know how we evaluate people on Versus, these categories are rhyme patterns, wordplay, lyrical content, voice, delivery, adaptability, catalog, album sales, and mass appeal. Each category is in a score of 1 to 10 other than album sales. With album sales, I award 2 points to the winner. Loser gets 0. So now let's get into this week's, and man, we got another great one. Started with the old school last time. This time we're going with the new school, man. It's a whole different game. New cats on top of the game and they taking over. After the whole Control single with Big Sean, Kendrick Lamar, Jay Electronica, it's been a little bit sketch between these two cats. They were cool and now it don't seem like they too cool. So is it beef? I'll let y'all be the judge of that, but it's definitely some tension. So without further ado, the two new heavyweights of the game, Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. For rhyme patterns, Kendrick Lamar gets a 9, Drake an 8.5. They're both really good, don't get it twisted. They both have great rhyme patterns. I base this on the fact that Drake is a little bit more predictable with his rhyme patterns. I kind of get and know where he's going with this rhyme before he even does it. Kendrick, though, he bounces around a lot. He changes his pattern from song to song. Actually changes his pattern from moment to moment, and those kind of cats I really do like. I like cats that, you know, are very versatile with their rhyme patterns, and so for that, I gave Kendrick the edge. For wordplay, Kendrick Lamar, 8.9, Drake, 8.8. So I gave Kendrick the slight advantage in this category, even though they both have really good wordplay. The reason why is because Drake's wordplay tends to be more punchliney, you know what I mean? A little bit jokey, and that's cool, but I don't take it as serious sometimes. Whereas Kendrick Lamar's wordplay is more deep, it's more almost intellectual, and for my preference, I kind of prefer that over the jokey joke stuff. With the exception to certain people, like Eminem is really good at that and it's funny to me, so I'm cool with that, but I just am a little bit more slightly blown away by Kendrick's wordplay because it tends to be a lot deeper, and I just respect that. For lyrical content, Kendrick Lamar 9.1, Drake 8.5. Alright, this one is probably the one that's got the most variance because Drake, man, is dope, but Drake's lyrical content is pretty much just like most people's lyrical content nowadays. Drake does tend to do some love ballads here and there. I mean, Drake is a singer and a rapper, which we'll get into that a little bit later. But for the most part, Drake's topics tend to stick towards the whole money, fame, I'm better than you type of thing. Kendrick is really versatile, at least so far. I mean, both of these cats are pretty new into their career, but so far Kendrick has been really versatile. I mean, not a lot of people are doing storytelling nowadays, and for him to step out of the norm and do a full album that's a journey, I've been waiting for somebody to do something creative like that, and I really respect what he did with Mad City. For voice, we got our first tie with Drake at an 8 and Kendrick Lamar at an 8. Alright, I want to slow down for a second. I tend to try and keep people in a general weight class, and both of these dudes are, I would say, in the same weight class, but I wanted to do rap versus rap. And the tricky part about reviewing Drake is not just a rapper, he's also a singer. And to be honest, I like Drake as a singer more than I like Drake as a rapper. I mean, sometimes, yeah, people think it's pretty sappy and that sort of thing, but when Drake first came out, I loved the mixture of best I ever had with the singing and the rapping, you know, combined, because I just thought it was different. And so I wasn't sure how I wanted to compare the two of them, whether I wanted to just keep it strictly about rap, but I feel like that would be kind of a disservice to Drake if I don't utilize what he's good at, what makes him famous. It's not two different, you know, genres of music. He's merging this into the same genre of music. And the reason why I say that is because Drake as a rapper, his voice tends to annoy me, to be honest, sometimes. Sometimes it's cool. He does have a voice that stands out on songs, but I feel like his voice tends to be pretty monotone, and just aggressive and monotone don't really mix well together to me. But his singing voice, I really feel like he's a good singer. I mean, he's not like the greatest singer, but he has a great tune. And for the songs that he sings on, I think it blends really well. Now, for Kendrick was gonna be lower originally when it came to voice, because as great of an MC as he is, I always thought that his voice sounded a little bit kiddie. You know what I mean? It's not very harsh. But when I heard him on Control, it totally changed my whole perspective of Kendrick. I always thought he was a great MC, but his voice stood out. It's like he grew something all of a sudden. And lately, ever since Control, he's kind of had that aggression in his voice, even with the BET Hip Hop Awards. So honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to his next album to see how his voice is going to sound. Because if he raps that way, paired with his actual lyrical ability, man, eventually I could give him even higher than that. But right now, because I don't know where he's going with this voice, I put him at an 8 as well. For delivery, Kendrick Lamar, 8.9, Drake, a 9. So in this one category, I give Drake the slight edge, and here's why. Again, we're talking more about his ability to sing and rap. There aren't too many people who pull it off the way that Drake pulls it off right now. He basically has set the standard for that style of hip-hop. As far as delivery for Kendrick, I like the fact that you never really know how he's gonna come on a song. And that's why I gave him a pretty high ranking as well. When you see his name on a feature, you're waiting to hear how he's gonna sound. It's almost like how Eminem is. You never really know how he's gonna sound. But yeah, Kendrick Lamar, he's pretty unpredictable. So that's why I gave him a pretty high score as well. Due to time constraints, Adaptability was not filmed, but Drake scored an 8.9, as did Kendrick Lamar. And for catalog, Drake scored a 9, Kendrick Lamar scored an 8.6. The reason why I gave Drake the edge on this is because, well, Drake has a bigger catalog, first of all, and he has more hits right now. But Kendrick is coming up, and depending on what he does from now, this review might be outdated very soon. And his last album had 7 Grammy nominations, so he's coming. I give him this temporarily, but it will not hold for much longer because his catalog is growing and his hits are growing. For album sales, Drake takes the win on this one. Most places that I see have Drake at a little bit over 5 million albums sold right now, and Kendrick Lamar has a little bit over 1 million albums sold, but he's yet to hit the 2 million point. He's probably around 1.5 million right now albums sold. So there's no real debate on this. Drake wins, he gets the 2-point conversion because he just sold more records, so there's that. For mass appeal, Kendrick Lamar, 8.8, Drake, 9.2. As I've always said, at the end of the day, it really just comes down to who's more popular. And even though Kendrick Lamar is coming up and a lot of people are seeing him as maybe the potential to dethrone Drake, right now, Drake owns it, man. I mean, if you really look at this, you can see so many comparisons between Jay-Z and Nas back in the day and Kendrick Lamar and Drake right now. Kendrick would, of course, be playing the role of Nas, and Drake would be playing the role of Jay-Z. Although the similarities are there, it's not quite the same because, again, keep in mind, we're talking about as it stands right now. But the window is closing fast in this one, whereas Jay-Z had a pretty big lead for a good amount of time between this whole Jay-Z and Nas thing. That's the thing about this, the story is still being written as we speak, so it's not the same as Jay-Z and Nas. But as it stands, Drake is the man. Drake gets the win in that category by far. He's just more popular. He's running the music game right now, and whatever Kendrick is doing right now, he is doing it from behind at this current point. So when it's all said and done, who gets the victory? Well, here's one of those weird situations where album sales screws up everything. As it stands, Kendrick Lamar with 70.2 would have the victory over Drake with a 69.9. But with the 2-point bonus for album sales, that puts Drake at 71.9, making him the winner of our second round of verses.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? So that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I love both of these MCs. Honestly, as you can see, I probably love Kendrick a little bit more, but album sales, man, it sabotaged him on this one. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, whether you like these people or not, whether you don't like either one of them, whether you don't like me, you don't like my review, whatever you feel, put it in the comments below. Thanks for watching this episode of Versus, and until next time, when we'll take two more great and amazing MCs and bat them together and see who becomes the winner. I'll see you then. Peace. Flip side.